gap that I mentioned earlier, right? I would like to start by telling a story of a young man. There was a young man who moved to Namibia in 2008, I think, and he joined St. Andrew Primary School. The young man didn't speak English and he struggled with English. There was a time for him to study, he had to get books, he just memorized everything, and when he gets into the exam room, he will just write any sentence that is similarity to whatever sentence he read without understanding the question. And so this young man finished his primary school and then went to a high school called Commerce High School. And while at Commerce High School in grade 11, he had a friend. And that friend got an opportunity to go to the African Leadership Academy, actually to apply to the African Leadership Academy. African Leadership Academy is a school in South Africa. It aims to develop the next generation of African leaders. And that friend did not apply to that specific academy because she had another vision for her dream. And that friend is sitting with us today. Her name is Honorable Emma Theophilus. And she went ahead and nominated this scholarship to this young man. And this young man applied to this African Leadership Academy and he got the scholarship. And he left high school, he went on to South Africa. In South Africa, he was inspired to solve critical problems in the African continent. And so he started developing a dream of working in one of the largest corporations of oil and gas in his country, Angola. And then he also started developing interest in education. And while in South Africa, there is a dean that came all the way from the US looking for students to help and support. And the dean is with us today. His name is Jonathan Berry. He's sitting right there. Right, and this young man later on went to the University of Rochester in the United States and he studied mechanical engineering. On his second year of college, he founded KBS Consultancy, which is a consultancy organization that aims to provide access to education to prospective African students. So two things they found out about education is that Africa, we have problem. Students cannot access higher education because of two things, right? One is low income, right? We have a lot of, I will not say we have a lot of poverty in our continent, but we have financial instability in the continent. And so not everyone can afford to acquire quality education abroad. And the second reason is that we have limited universities in Africa, right? A great example that I like using is Burkina Faso. Sometimes they're having failed students in grade 12 because they don't have spaces in universities for them to go. So that's one, right? And that's why we're here today to talk about international opportunities. And this is my story. This young man stands in front of you today. This young man is me. I just told you my story. And by telling you my story, I can see you making your story, right? So if you didn't take anything from my story yet, I want you to take two things, right? I would like to start with the word humility. If you can write down the word humility, right? I like the way African Leadership Academy defines humility. Humility is the ability to acknowledge your privilege, right? So it's always important to understand where you come from and understand that we cannot make it ourselves, right? We cannot jump the bridge by ourselves and all, right? I just gave my testimony. Honorable Emma was part of my journey. Jonathan Berry was part of my journey. So it's always important for us to look back and see the people that have helped us. Our parents, our teachers, our counselors. But we can also look humility at another perspective, right? So I was talking about the past, right? Acknowledging where we came from and the people that have helped us. But we can also look humility, thinking in the future, thinking in front, right? Understanding that the point I stand and the point I want to go, I cannot make it alone. I need help, right? I need opportunities, right? And I need to go out of my comfort zone to go every day and search for those opportunities, right? And these opportunities can come in various ways, right? They can come through person, like my story, right? Honorable Emma introduced me that scholarship, that opportunity, and applied, right? But that opportunity can also come through another country, right? I had to move from Angola to Namibia to have a better education, right, for my future. And then I had to migrate to South Africa, I had to migrate to the United States. Or it can come through a different continent, right? Maybe it might require you to travel to another continent, right? The second thing I want to tell you today is about networking, right? Moving abroad, it expands your network, right? It expands your horizons, right? You get to meet people. So, right, just to tell a little story, I came to Namibia on Monday, and John was about to visit Namibia, right, for a tour, right? And I've said, I mean, this person is so important and so impactful that we need together, right? That the youth of Namibia needs to listen to him. What can I do, right? Well, I had a network. I had Honorable Emma, right, and I contacted her. And here we are together to give this motivation and talk about international students. Now imagine how many of this combination can happen, right? I mean, I've met a lot of engineers abroad. I've met a lot of people in a different sector, right? I can repeat this type of connection and this type of session a lot of times because the people I've met can enable me to do this, right? And yeah, I just want to encourage you that whenever you're thinking of abroad, whenever you're thinking of opportunity, don't think of it as a country, right? You set an objective, dream big, right? And that dream will take you to the people, will take you to the country, and will take you to wherever you need to go. Don't want to go further. I thank you for being here today, and I want to encourage you continue seeking for this opportunity. I think you've already made your first step today, coming to this event and listening to the wonderful speakers that we have here. Thank you very much.